We have Mr. Yaki. Next up, we have Mr. Jerry Yaki. He is a financial advisor in Shelbyville. Jerry has volunteered and serves as the chairman of the General Dacey Trail Committee since its inception in 2000. Yes, he is related to the other Yakis around here, Jeff and Lewis, that are somewhere in the crowd today. So we've inundated with Yakis.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Also want to send out my thanks for the invitation to be here. I've been at all three summits, and it's really great to see the Illinois Bicycle Summit growing. Our story is about a small town population, 5,000, that does not have a park district, but we do have a trail. Like all towns, we've got good people, and we've tried to utilize our assets. My goal today is to highlight some of the things that we've done that hopefully might be helpful to you. This is what our trail looks like in October. And I just want to point out the split rail fence. That's a very inexpensive item that you can add to your trail. I can't tell you the number of people that just take pictures along the trail right here, senior pictures. It's a really nice thing to add. One of our assets is obviously Lake Shelbyville. We're located about an hour and 10 minutes southeast of here. Lake Shelbyville is the second biggest downstate tourist attraction, and our trail has some awesome views of the lake. Our trail is a 10-foot wide multi-purpose trail. What I want to point out here is the surface. What we utilize is an oil and chip surface. Again, we're a small group, we couldn't afford the harder surfaces, but if you're considering this, come check us out. Our trail's been in place since 2006. This is an excellent surface, excellent option for you. So when, where, and why. As I go through our phases, you can notice that we have 12 different sources of funds. So in 2000, we got our planning grant. Best thing that we could have done. Start right there. It took 3 painful years to get through that process. But we got the city, we got the county adjacent to us, and the Corps of Engineers all 3 set our master plan. And it's been downhill ever since. In 2003, we applied for grants and RTP, and we got creative and used the snowmobile funds. And we opened that trail in 2006. You can see in 2007, again RTP, but we reached out to some local banks for the matching. And on the third phase, that's when I went to our city council and I said, hey, now that you've seen the trail, now that you've seen our usage, and by the way, we're averaging about 146 users per day all through the year, winter, that's our average. And the city said, yeah, we see the benefits. So they jumped in and did the match, which was great. Phase 4 and 6, we used what's called the Transportation Community and Systems Preservation Program. And the match was from our local hospital or foundation. And I stole that idea from the medical mile in Little Rock, Arkansas, if you're familiar with that. So get the healthcare community involved. The next phase, the Fed Flex Match, that basically makes your 80-20 and 90-10. That's a great tool to understand. All right. We're doing 3 phases this summer, actually. The first one is an ITAP, and we're using the business tax district to match this part of this phase. And it's one thing that we learned from other trails is add the Connecticut Trail to your community. So obviously we're bringing it into the downtown district. Phase 9, that stands for the PLHD, stands for Public Land Highway Discretionary. It's used to improve access to federal lands. Obviously, we're located here in Shelbyville, so we're using those grants 100%, which is really cool. And then we're excited about Phase 10. We're building 7 miles of mountain bike trail. We won a nationwide competition with the Army Corps of Engineers. It's called the Partnership Handshake Agreement, $35,000. And we're hiring the SCA student crews to come in and build 7 miles of trail. And you can see I put a 2015 routes to ride the trails. But we just got an ITEP grant on Saturday, so we're going to be doing some more trail building in 2015. One of the benefits is we didn't have to buy any of the land. Our trail is on Army Corps of Engineer land and the city of Shelbyville. And why? Well, I got inspired by the Sunset Trail at Door County, Wisconsin. Anybody been on that trail? Okay, a few of you. I went in 1990. I've probably been back at least about a dozen times since. Kind of just felt like if they could do it there, why couldn't we have it here? You know, we have the land, so that was the motivation. Our structure, I basically felt like we had 2 options. We could team up with the city, and the city has 5 commissioners, so I only have to convince 5 people to vote for the project, or the county board, which had 22 members. So I obviously went with the city, and we formed a subcommittee. And I was basically fortunate enough to handpick the committee members. And I guess I would focus on the city engineer. He has been, I think, key to our success because he's well trusted. And not only is he an advocate, but he's a user. We did not form our own 501c3. We used a local foundation, which I love that because I don't have to do any filings, no additional costs, no headaches. It does cost 2% of the money that we raise. I think it's a very good deal. Probably like yourself, our trail volunteers are awesome. The one thing I've learned is you got to feed them well. Get the scouts involved. We've had 4 Boy Scouts perform projects on the trail to earn their Eagle Scout Award. I'm very, very proud of that. Stole this idea from Wisconsin Park. We have a winter candlelight walk on our trail. We light up 2.5 miles of the trail with over 400 luminaries. It's a great event. We have a bonfire, we have hot chocolate, hot cider, and a donation bucket. These fitness stations are located on the face of the trail that the hospital foundation money was used. And you can see that's our main beach there. I can't think of any other place on the planet where you can work out and get $1 million view, like looking at Lake Shelbyville. We have a 5K that we raise about $5,000 a year each year to go to the maintenance of the trail. We have benches and trees for memorial purposes, and what we've done there is we have a virtual memorial map. I think that might be helpful to some people. And the key to our success, I couldn't do this presentation if I didn't say, just mention my faith. Felt like I've been led this whole time, and it's just been an honor. I think it's his plan, I'm just a tool. Obviously, we've been successful and blessed. Also, I would just point out that I try to do something for the good of the trail every week. People notice progress, and sometimes that just means picking up trash on the trail, sometimes it means calling Ed Versati, but I try to do something every week. We've been fortunate enough to buy a gator and a Vermeer mini skid steer. These are tools that make trail maintenance fun, and I would encourage that. I have a good relationship with our local media, and I encourage them not to put the dollar amounts in the newspaper. I don't want people to focus on that. I want them to focus on what we're doing. And so usually there's a splash off the grant, and then hopefully it's never mentioned again. And our local buy-in, our schools use the trail in the spring and the fall to bring the kids out. We have art on the trail. We've had emergency training, take place out on the trail. We've had seniors get organized and made walking groups, so we've really tried to get the community involved. So let's go out and build some more trails. Thank you.